The second phase of the 2030 Jàngandoo program, Learning Together, has been completed. It was launched at the national level with the attendance of officials from the Research Laboratory on Economic and Social Transformations, LATES, the educational system, the local community, and international organizations. Also present were partners of the project in charge of conducting the field survey to assess the quality of learning, which is deemed very poor in Senegal.
Jàngandoo has come at the right time, and it is a good barometer that can be used to assess the quality of our education. It also serves as an aid to the downtrend of our educational system. Presently, government authorities who are attending this meeting, decision makers, or those in charge of implementing policies will help remedy all the shortcomings of the assessments.
After being held in 4 test regions, namely Dakar, Kolda, Diourbel, and St. Louis, a training session was conducted for the supervisors and facilitators involved in the Jàngandoo program in the 14 regions of the country. The training focused on how to master the evaluation tools for the tests that would be submitted to households and communities. This is meant to assess the level of the learners aged from 6 to 18 in French as well as in Arabic. The Jàngandoo method is built around 4 innovations. First, the evaluation focuses on the basic acquisitions in reading, calculation, and general knowledge in either French or Arabic, depending on the learner's choice. Second, the children are tested in households. Third, the tests are adapted to the median level, corresponding to the completion of the 3rd learning year. And fourth, the findings are shared with the families and other actors of the educational community to induce better quality of education.
Jàngandoo is a good initiative. As learners' parents, we have been longing for this program. It will help our children learn in best conditions. In the past, teachers were cut out for the profession, but now it is just a breadwinning trade. Ever since, teaching has become a mere breadwinning activity, and many are not giving the best of themselves.
Everybody should admit that every good achievement must be measured and improved, and this requires independent assessing bodies. I do believe that the all-inclusive talks on education should recommend the institutionalization of Jàngandoo program. The government authorities must also support this program because it helps stakeholders to assess our educational performance. I also reckon that the academic spirit of Jàngandoo must be preserved since it mirrors our education system.
D'abord, il faut saluer l'initiative.
The initiative should be welcomed for several reasons. First, because it was not directly elaborated by official authorities. Second, it meets a need widely stressed in the monitoring report on the education for all people. This need is to assess school performance among young learners. Therefore, we need to know the contribution of the education system in terms of added value to youth's daily endeavors and prospects. Senegal is among countries that register the lowest learning scores. Consequently, we admit that Jàngandoo means an important approach that parents, teachers, and official authorities should share to conduct a dialogue on policies towards improving the quality of education.
The survey was conducted in July 2013, based in 2 questionnaires, one for assessing the environment of the learner and another for testing his educational level. After that came the official presentations of the findings, both at national and local levels. They followed the sharing of the conclusions from the Jàngandoo paradigm with the various stakeholders of the educational systems, parents' associations, and families in the regions. At the local level, the program made some 45 presentations, which suggested that the learners tested had difficulties in reading, comprehension, and arithmetic, but mainly in Arabic. 76.6% of the children failed the test in arithmetic, while 69.4% underachieved in reading. The overall academic failure has moved from 81 to 70.13% among children tested. The findings concern learners over 8 who have passed the median assessment level set by the Jàngandoo scheme.
Counter performances are still unabated, particularly in reading and mathematics. Since the Jàngandoo program has taken into account these two subjects, I think there is a way to solutions.
The comprehensive report has revealed some discrepancies related to the poor training of teachers, the inadequate use of guidebooks, and family background. All these factors, among others, are proved to have had an impact on children's learning conditions.
De manière générale, dans la région de Diourbel.
Generally, in the region of Jurbel, 85% of children have performed well in the general knowledge tests, and this is very important. This means that children who have an open relationship with their environment are more exposed to acquire knowledge that make them well educated and useful to their society. However, there are some counterpoints. For example, the scores are very low in reading, comprehension and calculation, both in French and Arabic.
The assessment in Arabic has revealed the participation of children tested in Arabic. So 15% of them have opted to be tested in Arabic. This percentage is significant compared to the assessment. However, the survey has shown that the failure rate is higher in Arabic than in French.
The expert urged civil society activists and government authorities to bring innovative changes towards scaling up the quality of the learning system.
If we consider the high academic failure in almost all the tests submitted to the children, there is good reason to be anxious. As the Jàngandoo program is proceeding, we just submit diagnoses and it's up to the community to act as therapists, meaning they will see how to remedy the problem and eradicate it from its roots.
What is important is the supervision and monitoring at home by parents. Children need constant monitoring wherever they are.
The program Jàngandoo.
The Jàngandoo program is already an instrument of alert because to resolve a problem, one has to be aware of its impact first of all. The initiative is an external assessment that also takes into account children in the formal and informal education system. Consequently, Jàngandoo is very innovative.
The main recommendations are promoting the learning processes of issues relating to children's cultural environment, developing innovative methods for all forms of teaching, and improving the learning environment of children. In addition, all stakeholders are recommended to commit themselves to improving educational performance in the country. To support progressive change within the communities, Jàngandoo organizes workshops for various actors from both formal and informal teaching communities in French and Arabic. These workshops are aimed at devising innovative approaches based on experiences, physical background, and values. They are also an opportunity to develop learning benchmarks that are adapted to the cultural environment and psychology of the milieu.
Such an activity will help us to have a clear radioscopy of our education system, to identify challenges and opportunities, as well as to make suggestions to the authorities.
Le ministère de l'Éducation.
The Education Ministry will closely follow up the finding of the baseline survey, and we will try to work with researchers on how to implement the necessary reforms and to substantially improve the quality of teaching in collaboration with the Chief Education and Training Officers.
Officially launched in Rufisque, about 30 kilometers from Dakar in May 2002, this program is supported by the US Youth-led Foundation. Inspired by an experience conducted in India, Jàngandoo is meant to facilitate an independent evaluation of the primary education system in Senegal. It seeks eventually to serve as a benchmark for stakeholders of the national education system to improve the quality of teaching and increase the offer of basic education among young learners aged from 6 to 18.
Jàngandoo, ce qu'il fait d'abord, c'est un diagnostic sans complaisance.
The Jàngandoo program means a thorough diagnosis of the education system. because it is carried out by a multidisciplinary team made up of senior academics, economists, sociologists, communication specialists who interact with education experts, civil society activists, households, local communities, and political leaders. This diagnosis is conducted by all these stakeholders with proven expertise. It also identifies educational factors that explain the performance levels of learners in various basic subjects. Identifying such level and analyzing its explanatory factors, I think this will contribute to raise awareness among many actors as far as the quality of education is concerned.
De plusieurs acteurs au sujet de la question de la qualité de l'éducation.
The second phase of the 2030 Jàngandoo program was conducted in 5,000 households and reached some 50,000 children in all the 14 regions of the country.